because people have their head in the sand or up there, you know what, and don't understand how these laws can be misused. And a law that can be misused will be misused. We've seen it time and again.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And the issue is that red flag laws do nothing but only take protection away from someone who probably needs it.
Right. We've seen that already.
I mean,
where was that? Was that in Texas? There was a young lady who was served a red flag law, and then while she was disarmed, she was attacked.
Yeah, exactly.
That not even counting the one guy that they did the no-knock whatever in Maryland, because we all beat that horse to death. That's one instance out of how many red flag laws that are served every year or have been so far. But the lady that actually was attacked and killed while she was legally disarmed or illegally disarmed, the way I see it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
They harp on, if we could save just one life, then it's worth it. Well, if it costs just one innocent life, then it's not worth it, and we need to strike that law from the books because it's causing more harm than it is help.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're going to do red flag laws, then there should be no reason to not also implement stop and frisk, which was deemed unconstitutional, and the ACLU has major issues with stop and frisk. But if it's one of those things where, well, you have guns and you might do something bad with them, we're going to take them away. Why is that any different than, well, you're a human being and you might have a gun and we're going to find out if you do. See if you have guns or drugs or anything else illegal on you. Papers, please.
Right. And, again, these same people that want to institute these red flag laws aren't giving up their armed security detail. They're just making it harder for the average citizen who follows the law to be able to protect themselves.
And again, they go through and sweep the house one time, and that's it. And for the people who have no regard for the law, that's not going to stop them from putting the gun
more
back in their
crimes.
house.
No, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop criminals from committing crime.
There is no such thing as a law that stops criminals from committing crime.
Because it's in the freaking name of what they are, a criminal. They're going to commit crime no matter what. No law is going to stop them or make them think twice because they already have disregard for it. They don't freaking care about the law in the first place. That's why they're breaking it.
Yeah.
So can we just give some solid advice for those of us that need to defend the argument against red flag laws? What's some simple logic that we could use? Are we live, Night Strike?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're live.
Okay, so here's the situation, guys. I've got a coworker. We're having a discussion about it. He is in favor of sensible red flag laws in Nebraska because the debate is on in Nebraska for this. And I'm trying to explain to the man that they're incredible infringement on our constitutional rights. And his argument is, well, it's for the greater good. It's for the
greater good.
What can we? I mean, I get it, but if this is going to start coming up in every town and every community? We need some logic to argue against it. So what are we going to do? I know we've been talking about in the pre-chat. What do we tell people?
The discussion that I've had, and I've made a few videos about this on my channel too.
Oh yeah.
But the discussion that I've had about this is well, there's a couple different things. First of all, an extreme risk protection order, by definition or by the way that the what do I want to say? The wording of the law, the language of the law, that's it, says that the person has been deemed a danger to themselves or to others. Now, if that's the case, then we need to remove the danger, which is the person. We need to pull them off the street. We need to take them in for a mandatory 72-hour psych eval or something to that effect and determine whether or not they really are a danger. Not a judge who is an expert in all things legal, but not an expert in psychology. We need to let actual psychologists, psychiatrists, and medical doctors observe for 72 hours and find out if this person really is a loose cannon, or if they just happen to like sharing memes and they've got a an off-color sense of humor the way that I do, but they're not actually. I have no intent of ever hurting another human being, let alone taking a life. So that's the first argument. If red flag laws would remove the person, which is the person who's deemed to be a threat, that would be one thing I would be willing to at least have the conversation about. But the way that they're labeled as to keep people safe because you've been deemed a threat to yourself or to others. So what do? They take away your guns and leave lots of instruments that take more lives every year than firearms do. You're more likely in this country to be stabbed than shot, like I said. You're more likely to be beaten with bare hands or feet to death than you are to be shot in this country.
Bludgeoned with a hammer instead of shot with an AR.
Or blunt force trauma with another object, a trophy, a bowling pin, a hammer, rock, anything like that, baseball bat. Those are all things that are used to kill more people than firearms are. And yet they want to take away the guns. They say it is for the protection of the community, but it's not. And if the person is a danger to themselves, if they're suicidal, then the only thing that you've done is made them so they can't shoot themselves. But you haven't kept them safe. You're not observing them. You're not getting them any kind of help. And you're leaving every other. I mean, if they could fill a bathtub and drop a toaster in that, or whatever it is, there are so many different ways to take one's life if one is determined to do it. Even Jeffrey Epstein, who is impossibly suicide, or it was impossible for him to commit suicide, still managed to die in his cell with no means or way to do it.
Well, he didn't kill himself.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it. No. Okay, go on.
But the point is, they're saying that he did. So clearly, suicide will find a way. And if they called these laws what they are, if they called them extreme risk gun confiscation orders, then at least we would be dealing with what they really want to do. But it is so dishonest. It is so disingenuous. It is despicable. And Senator Adam Morfeld from Lincoln, Nebraska, I hope that eventually somebody tells you that I said this. Try harder, because this is not only unconstitutional, it's not a good idea. It will cause more harm than good, and it won't do any good. That would be some of the arguments, or I guess at least talking points that I would make. If we would amend these laws that are proposed to remove the danger, which is the person, I would be okay with such a thing. But the way that they are right now, it's, hey, we know you own guns, and there's a chance that you might commit a crime one day. So no guns for you. Honestly, show me a person that you can 100% definitively say has no chance of committing a crime one day. A person who is still alive anyway, that owns guns. It's just impossible to do. There's no way to prove that you will or won't do something in the future. We don't have that kind of technology.
We don't.
How about that dance club night strike? What happened there? Guy went for a good time in Iowa, and things went wrong, huh?
Yeah.
There's your case right there. Yep.
We'll talk about that in a second, because
that's a teaser.
I need to welcome everyone to Hit or Miss. I'm your host, Night Strike, and you got a bit what we were arguing about in the pre-chat beforehand. We're talking about the important issues. So I don't have a lot of panelists this evening, even though I sent tons of emails out to people. So if you are out there watching, check your email. You might have one from me. If not, well, then I guess it's just going to be me, Sandhills, and Travis for a while. But let's introduce our panelists, the few that actually decided to show up this evening. So Sandhills, you have the floor, sir. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sandhills. I like long walks on the beach, pina coladas, and getting caught in the rain. You can find me on my YouTube channel. It's called Sandhills Shooter. You can find me on Facebook on my page. It's called Sandhills Shooter. And if you like crazy memes and every Epstein didn't kill himself meme that I can find, go to Facebook. If you like cool live podcasts, kind of like this one, but different, and other videos that eventually make their way. Sometimes they're good rants. Sometimes they are hopefully a little thought-provoking. then find me on YouTube. Go like, share, subscribe, comment, all that normal stuff. Night Strike, thanks for letting me hang out.
Ain't no problem. Travis, what's going on?
Hey everybody, Travis P11 here. Pisces. I enjoy long days spent at the range and longer times reloading, and I'm not afraid to swap out the furniture on my AR once in a while. So, hit me up. But anyway, I'm just kidding. Guys, check out my channel. It's Travis P11 over there on YouTube. Got a little podcast we do on Monday nights called Caliber Corner, 6 o'clock Central Time. We talk about guns and ammo, so make sure you check it out, 6 o'clock Central, and that's it. Thanks for the invite, man.
All right. So apparently people are saying they didn't get emails out, so I'm going to send a couple more out there trying to get a few more people in here. Apparently, people want to jump in. What's the date? It's the 19th. That's what it is.
There you go.
Next week is Thanksgiving, so we're also going to talk about, Thanksgiving a little bit. Granted, I know we can still do hit or miss next week because Thanksgiving's on Thursday. But again, I want to get everyone, rolling for ideas of, possible dishes they can make for Thanksgiving. So we're gonna talk about that too, because why not? Because it's hit or miss Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Anyways, Travis, do you want to run that first topic you were hinting at earlier?
You mean about the man that was frequenting the Gentleman's Club or red flag laws?
The Gentleman's Club.
So we've got a guy in Iowa City, Iowa. Is that what you said?
No, Waterloo.
Waterloo, Iowa. So a fellow Iowan just to the east of Nebraska over there. The gentleman had gone to a gentleman's club, whatever, you do you, right? And what was the deal? They ran his debit or credit card and it was denied.
Yeah.
He was denied. It was denied for whatever reason. The card was denied and he was denied his lap dance. And in a fit of rage, he drew his firearm. And what happened from there? Was anybody injured?
I don't think anyone was injured. He squeezed off 5 shots and managed to hit a couple of parked cars.
Wow.
One bullet hit a Dodge Durango in the rear window. A Chrysler Town and Country was hit in the tailgate by a bullet and lodged in the back seat. Other bullets struck a Chevrolet Impala's driver's side door and windshield and lodged in the dashboard.
There's lessons to be learned here. You should not go to a location like that with a loaded gun. But anyway, and again, I'm totally for carrying anywhere and everywhere that you can safely carry. Okay. But I would imagine that the Iowa law says you're not allowed to carry in a location like that due to the percentage of alcohol sales or the fact it's a bar,
Don't most of those places, also have bar licenses so they can serve alcohol. So if they are a bar, I mean, if you're, I don't know Iowa State laws that well.
Yeah.
But if you're but most other states say, if you have a carry permit, you're not allowed to bring your firearm into that establishment. In South Carolina, it's a little different. You can go and you can carry inside of bars as long as they don't have a sign up. But again, you cannot drink alcohol if you're carrying in a bar. You have to, drink one of the other drinks because, believe it or not, bars are also restaurants. So you can get like a soda. Mm-hmm. You can get,
good
juice,
burgers, man. Oh yeah,
juice, water. You get water, of course. They also serve, lots of great fried food. You can get chicken tenders, fries. You can get great burgers. I mean, some of these, believe it or not, some of these, bars, they double as restaurant because food also sells and makes some money.
Definitely.
I'd say the food would probably make them a bit more in alcohol just on the fact that, the food is less expensive.
Rumor has it Midnight Range TM got his big start back down there in Bourbon Street, some little back alley club or something. I think it was called the Midnight Club or something, if I'm not mistaken. The Midnight Strike Club, I think is what it was.
Yeah, it's something like that.
He got his notoriety for the crawfish boil that he made, and he's now big time. So
Travis, I heard his first manager might have been a cousin of yours. His last name was Patuchka.
I wouldn't be surprised. We're everywhere. Well, they're part of the Trabi too, so you never know where we're going to pop up.
Right. But it's just so. Apparently, the guy took off, leading police on a high-speed chase. He was finally stopped when his vehicle hit a curb and was arrested after fighting with police officers. Authorities stated one officer was injured during the altercation. They don't say whether he was shot or whether he may have just gotten bruises or, a dislocated shoulder or, whatever, a broken arm or something, But, again, Wells was arrested. The guy's name was Wells. Wells was arrested for carrying weapons, 2 counts of second-degree criminal mischief, 5 counts of reckless use of a firearm, 2 counts of assault on a peace officer, and 1 count each, eluding, reckless driving, interference while armed, and 4th-degree criminal mischief. I'm surprised there wasn't a DUI charge either, because obviously the guy had to have been drinking.
And there was no unlawful discharge of firearm ticket citation. So what he did, which was the most dangerous thing, they didn't actually cite him for. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there. I'm not. That's why Sarge is here. All right, we got to have the.
Apparently, he was using a .38 Smith & Wesson revolver. So I don't know. You decide how much damage a .38 can do. But again, he damaged vehicles, so I guess they counted that as mischief. But I'd hate for someone to have to claim your car getting shot. And we've got a latecomer in here. Our friend Sarge, our resident Leo, has decided to join us.
Hey, what's going on? I saw you're a little bit thin, so I thought I'd jump in for a minute. What's up?
And he's on patrol tonight too. So Sarge is keeping the streets safe for everyone.
There you go.
So what's going on this evening? What are we talking about?
Oh, we were just going over a guy who shut up a gentleman's club because his card was denied for a lamp dance.
And I've got a coworker of mine that's generally a Pro 2A guy that's in favor of Nebraska's proposal for red flag laws.
And we were arguing over that earlier too. Mm-hmm. And in at the last minute to win it, we've got everyone's favorite bird, Gizzard Gary. What's going on, Gary? I'm calling you out on the spot.
Give the man a moment to connect his headset. He's got to bounce from one PC to the other. He's a busy guy. There he is.
What's up, people?
Oh, is it morning?
Bird. Give him the bird,
man.
It's 8:14 in our time. Am I late for work?
Yeah.
Is it morning or night? You ever have one of those days where you do that? You pull an all-nighter and you wake up, you don't know if it's day or night?
So next up, what we're going to talk about, everyone knows who Stag Arms is, right? They're an AR-15 company. They make really good AR-15s. I've actually used one before. It was really nice. I liked it. I know one of our friends over in one of our Gun Channel's friends, Mika over in Norway. He's got a Stag Arms over there. They actually export them to Norway, and he got one, and he loves it. But apparently, they aren't happy with the state of Connecticut, and obviously, I would understand this more so than anyone, because if I was going to go in business and sell firearms and manufacture guns to sell to the people, I would want to be able to sell in my state as well as all over the United States. I mean, if you're a manufacturer, you want to be able to sell to everyone, not just people outside of your state, right?
So are they going to pull a mag pull or what?
You want to be able to sell locally as well as nationally, okay? And apparently, Stag Arms released a statement yesterday saying that they are relocating from Connecticut to Wyoming. So Stag Arms is leaving New Britain, Connecticut, and they are relocating to. Did they say? I think they said it was Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Man, Nebraska's got to work harder to get these companies recruited. Sandhills, we need to get on the ball about that.
Well, here's the thing. Don't take this the wrong way, but Wyoming's a little less restrictive on guns than Nebraska is. I mean, because look at Lincoln.
Well, they probably offered them better tax breaks than what Nebraska. We're pretty heavy on that too, but yeah.
And Rob D. NY Outcast was saying earlier yesterday that the reason for them moving is probably because of money. But again, I'm going to argue that it's also because of anti-gunners and Democrats who basically want to raise taxes on everything other than themselves in cities, and they just ruin cities when they are elected, to run them. So I would argue that they're probably their local their county that they're in, or the city they're located in, is probably raising taxes on, like, gun manufacturers or FFLs, and trying to make it hard to do business. So yes, money is an issue. But again, if you're gonna own a firearms manufacturing business, you want to be able to sell to everyone locally as well as nationally, not just outside of your state. It doesn't make sense to be headquartered in a state you can't sell your firearms to the people. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense for me. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for Colt, but it doesn't make sense to me. What do you think, Gary?
I don't know. I mean, they've got trucks to take that stuff wherever they need to take it. I don't know that they really care where it's bought, as long as they can make their money. I mean, you've got gun manufacturers right there in California probably making crap they can't even sell in California.
At that point, I see it as a lost cause, because you lose out on business because of restrictive laws. And I don't see where those laws help anyone, because let's be honest, the gun restrictions in California certainly didn't stop any shootings in California from happening.
But let's be real, none of these gun companies sell really much of anything out of their factories. They put stuff in trucks and they carry it to distributors all over the country. So whether or not it's locally sold or not is kind of immaterial, I reckon.
Yeah, but again, I'd like to be able to go, if I buy a firearm from a manufacturer in my state, I'd like to be able to go and talk to them, or at least call tech support and talk to someone who's American instead of calling like Europe or something.
Not to mention, it's like the government saying, "Well, we'll take your tax money and we'll let you pay our people that live here, but we ain't gonna let you sell your product in our state."
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if you're going to make a product, then you should be able to sell that product everywhere in the United States. But unfortunately, some states just don't like freedom, like California, Washington, Oregon, and most of New England, and Illinois,
New Jersey.
That's new. I'm lumping the Northeast as part of New England.
Say basically the entire Northeast at this point, guys. Let's just get right to it.
The entire Northeast. I don't care if Vermont was, a haven at one point. It's not now. they kind of fixed that. So, anyway, that I wanted to broach that topic because I saw that, and I was happy to see that they're going somewhere a bit more free. I guess it might lower their costs a little bit, maybe help them out. They may be able to get more people to manufacture. Either way, it sounds like a good thing because I was when I got my first 1911, I got mine from American Tactical Imports, and a year or two prior, they had just moved down to South Carolina, and moved their offices from Rochester, New York, down to Summerville, South Carolina. So one of my 1911s was one of the first 1911s with the Summerville, South Carolina stamp in the 1911 instead of Rochester, New York. And apparently they've been doing all right for themselves down here. So they don't want to move back. Hell, I wouldn't.
Are we cool with Stag? I mean, are they haven't pushed through for any agenda?
They make quality AR parts.
I just mean like politically, on the side.
They are a little expensive. And Sarge, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, could you have bought that ATI 1911 when they were still in New York, or could you only have bought it once you got to South Carolina? Once they got to South Carolina?
No, I just bought it. Off of PSA's website.
Oh, I agree with Gary because these guys got to sell them to a distributor, and then the distributor takes care of where they go. They're not going to make any more or less money as far as they're going to sell to the same areas no matter what, no matter where they're located. But I agree with them moving out from behind enemy lines and getting to a more free area. I do agree
But
with
I
that.
would argue that those restrictive laws that are in a state, if they're in a state that is restrictive, those restrictive laws may make the costs of their distributors higher than they would normally be.
I don't really think that, but I would think there's probably an aggravation being behind enemy lines more than anything as far as cost.
And AC97 was saying, "What is Stag Zoo exactly? Unmarked receiver or something?" Yeah, at one point they got in trouble with the ATF for forgetting for not putting serial numbers on completed receivers fast enough when they were manufacturing them. That's what they got in trouble for. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had anything against them. In fact, I kind of like them because they're one of the few companies that makes lefty AR-15s. My wife's a southpaw, so I've considered buying their firearms in the past.
And here's the thing about Wyoming. If you don't know about Wyoming, they don't have any state income tax for. They don't have any state income tax for companies. That's not to say companies aren't required to file an earning report of how much they earned, but they don't have they don't have an income tax for companies in the state of Wyoming.
Last year, that's who we got into SHOT Show Range Day with Stag Arms. They've got some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, I support Stag Arms. Granted, if they do something wrong, it's also on them to fix whatever they screwed up. I mean, if they did something illegal, then yeah, they got to own up to it and they got to take the hit on the chin.
And they've got
no one's above the law.
They've got a 10mm PCC, so pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that. That is pretty cool. So.
Well, maybe that needs to be the company that we support in 2020, huh?
One of them. Yeah, I'm still supporting PSA.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man, all the way, man.
Though I wish I could get in contact with someone from higher up in PSA to see about that, about getting a GunTube partnership. But again, I don't know.
I'm gonna get a hold of somebody at PSA tomorrow because I ordered an upper from them 31 days ago and I still don't have it in my possession.
Crap. Dude, I'm in Nebraska and I get my stuff within 7 days for PSA. I'm in the middle of the country, bro.
The gloves are coming off tomorrow.
I normally get mine.
Are you gonna go drive up there, Sarge?
We're gonna chat tomorrow.
There you go.
I'm done.
But well, good luck, Sarge. Sarge, if you have to, pull the law enforcement card.
Did they stop production of that caliber of upper and they're just not offering it or what?
No, it was listed as in stock. It's a 10.5-inch 5.56 upper.
Oh man, so they pulled an optics plan on you, huh?
It was listed as in stock, and I still don't have it a month later. So
I normally get stuff within a week, or I can go down to the store and get it. That same day.
I usually do too. But here, I'll just tell you what's happened. My buddy has now got set up as a dealer. He can get stuff through them at dealer cost, and he placed an order with them. I paid him. We placed the order on the 18th, a fairly large order. It has come out in multiple small shipments. They drafted the money 3 days later, so they have been paid. It has come out in multiple small shipments, and I still do not have my upper over a month after I paid for it. And there's just no excuse for that. There's none. There's zero. And why you have to send out an order in little increments, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
You order like 3 or 4 uppers, a dozen lowers, several other things, and you just send it out like 3 here, 3 there, 3 here. And a month later, we don't have any of the uppers, and one of them being mine. That's ridiculous. Although I like PSA, I think they're trying to grow too quickly, and this is the downside of that. They can't follow through.
Well, it's not following through. It's just they sell too much before they have it in hand. That's probably
Exactly.
They need to put more effort and time into their customer service. I do hear a lot of complaints that people don't hear back from customer service, or they try to call and they can't get a hold of anybody.
Well,
These places, they need to expand their customer service big time.
Well, they
And other
blast
companies
out
too.
the emails 2 a day. And
Oh, I
read
know.
them.
I know. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see all kinds of things I want, and occasionally I do buy. A couple times a year, I buy. Well, more than that, I buy things, and when it says in stock, you expect it within a week or two, not a month, not over a month now. So, I think they're trying to do too much.
Yep. So that's definitely on them. What else? All right, we talked about that. Do we want to go over what Biden said about 9mm pistols? Do we really want to go over that?
Let's cover that real quick because we need as much.
Because
Yeah.
he said, ban 9mm pistols just like we ban bazookas and machine guns. I don't really want to go over this, Travis. Do you want to go over it?
How did he specifically single out 9mm?
All right. Crazy Uncle Joe Biden can't go a day without sticking his foot in his mouth anymore. At a $2,800 per head event in Seattle this weekend, he asked rhetorically, why should we allow people to have military-style weapons, including pistols with 9mm bullets, and can hold 10 or more rounds? Question mark. What does Uncle Joe cite as the reason for such an ignorant belief? Joe Biden ranked in campaign cash at 2 private Seattle fundraisers on Friday, including one at the home of a top Amazon executive, where the former vice president ever so gently raised the role the company had played in the loss of some middle-class jobs. Well, yeah. Speaking at the Queen Anne neighborhood home of David Zapolsky, Amazon's general counsel, who introduced him as someone who can bring stability. Yeah. Biden lamented the Democratic Party's failure to speak to working-class constituencies who have grown pessimistic about their economic futures. Well, I don't know. $2,800 fundraising dinners. Yeah, gee, I wonder who that's for. Obviously not your constituents. Now, while saying he supports the Second Amendment, Biden called the absolutist arguments of some gun rights supporters bizarre. Noting people can't own machine guns or bazookas, Biden said. Why should we allow people to have military-style weapons, including pistols with 9mm bullets that can hold 10 or more rounds? Well, technically, he's wrong there because we can own bazookas and we can own machine guns. The problem is they're NFA items, and you have to pay tax stamps on with rocket launchers. You have to pay tax stamp for every round of ammunition you have for it, and for machine guns, you have to pay a tax stamp and pay a $40,000 fee for the gun itself. That's what they don't tell you. You can have destructive devices. You just have to pay for them, one. And two, you have to have a tax stamp for, as I said, with bazookas, you have to have a tax stamp for the ammunition. Why do you have to have a tax stamp for the ammunition? I don't know. Ask the ATF why they decided on these arbitrary laws. Well, actually, it wasn't even the ATF's fault. It probably was the GCA that did that, or was that the 1934? That was the 34. But it's a good question to look up. But either way, it's ridiculous. But again, you can own that stuff. It's just expensive as all hell. So, Joe's other gaftastic talking point. We protect Canadian geese more than we protect our own children.
I read that and I was curious. I don't know when it is open season on children, but apparently he's alluding to the fact that we can hunt children with more rounds in our gun than we can waterfowl. And I've never ever known that it was ever good to hunt human beings, but I must have missed something there.
And I guarantee you that every mass shooter has definitely violated the bag limit on human beings for the open season on the human beings. So that's ridiculous.
Right. And with all these wonderful restrictive laws, that didn't stop that Asian dude from going and shooting people in California, did it? And yes, I'm going to point it out because he was Asian. And, apparently, they reported on it, and then the story just went on, and they didn't never talked about it again because it didn't fit the narrative of a white guy, or he didn't have an AR-15. It didn't fit the narrative, the media, or the left's narrative of guns are bad. So they moved on with the story. And just completely ignored the story.
He was also too young to possess a handgun.
Exactly. How the hell did he get in the first place?
I don't know.
Okay, so the article goes on to say, mentioning his own shotgun ownership, Biden talked about Delaware goose hunting restrictions that limit hunters to 3-aught shotgun shells. We protect geese from Canada more than we do people, he said. And, it just sounds like Biden really, it's not that he is crazy. He's crazy Uncle Joe. But, the way he says that, it sounds like he's annoyed that he can only have 3 rounds in his shotgun. If you don't like Delaware, move out of Delaware to somewhere else where you can have more rounds in your shotgun to hunt geese.
And furthermore, isn't the 3-shell limit, the origin of that, what I've heard or read, was because it was designed to slow down it was designed to help preserve the over-under industry of shotguns at the time that pump actions and semi-auto started coming out. They did that as a way to not make the 3-shell limit a viable alternative to over-unders. So it has nothing to do with protecting geese at all. It's nothing to do with protecting waterfowl in its origin. So to sit there and say that it's done to protect Canada geese is completely erroneous.
So does Uncle Joe think we should limit school spree killers to 3 rounds? He mumbled on to other topics before he could address that question.
No, Uncle Joe just doesn't think.
Okay, but we've got to give him some credit here.
But one thing is for certain. Biden apparently knows more about Ukrainian gas than he knows about guns or geese.
But we've got to give him some credit because at least his teeth stayed in.
I mean, Polydent works if you use enough of it, but yeah. Or so I've been
the
told.
only politician that knows about gas these days.
Yeah.
Right. And on that note, should we talk about Swalwell?
Yeah, we have.
What a segue, Sandhills, touche.
we have to talk about the awfulest of topics. There's a new conspiracy going around. It's called Fartgate.
Fartgate.
It's called Fartgate, and no, not the Fargate, Fartgate, because apparently Eric Swalwell was caught when he was doing an interview today on TV instead of his actual job. He let one loose during one of his speaking points, and he's trying to deny that, and the network is trying to deny that. But if you watch Never Enough Ammo's video on it, it's clear that he let one rip.
Does he kind of angle it a little bit and squint a little and just kind of grunt and then it just kind of...
No, it's one of those...
And he even paused while he was talking to let it go.
It's one of those straight-faced ones.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just be a man, fess up, and say you did it. Say, you know what? I crop dusted and I am sorry. Just be I would. That'd be the front. Who claimed it? I did it. Sorry, guys. It was on me. It's all on me.
Right.
All right, let's move on with life. Now we got to spend the next 2 weeks complaining about it. I would just, I would appreciate more honesty from these politicians. Even if it meant I would disagree with them, I would respect them more if they could just come out and say that, yeah, they did it. Like take the prince that's being accused of hanging out with Epstein and sleeping with the underage girl. He's sitting there denying it, saying he doesn't know this girl. They got pictures of him with this girl in the club, buying her drink. She's leaving the apartment. Oh, I don't recall meeting this young lady. Dude, really? Wow. Man, I can't.
So-
this is just people in denial would just make me sick, bro.
So Boob Sweat went and sent us another funny picture. It's a good thing farting isn't contagious like yawning is. That would be terrible for everyone. It would. It would indeed.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, because, it guys kind of depends on the situation and how potent you are and what kind of a fartist you are,
Well,
I coined that term, by the way, just for the record. So.
Oh, okay. So,
All right.
Boob Sweat, I just showed the email. I got it, bro. I made sure to check my email just for you, dude. Because I know you always have those witty one-liners that we all need to know about. So thank you, Boob Sweat. I appreciate all you do for Hit or Miss. Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. NY Outcast goes on, is saying, if he stated my bad, people would have loved it. You know what? Yeah, own up to that kind of thing. You say,
like, dude, I had some rancid Taco Bell earlier.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Just say, I don't know what that was, but apparently it happened. So sorry, guys. That's all he had to say. That's all he had to say. But remember,
watch this video.
Democrats don't apologize for anything other than criminals and terrorists. It's true.
Yep.
So.
Not even their own farts. Too good to apologize for their own farts.
And remember, this was from Nuke Boy. So he certainly it wasn't the nuclear weapon he was looking for, but he certainly let one rip.
WMD.
He finally got around to firing off one of those WMDs.
Mm-hmm.
He could possibly suffocate a gun owner with that, possibly.
Do you have a permit for that shell?
I don't think he has. No, I don't think he has a permit for David Crockett.
Have a tax stamp on that one.
Yeah.
You got a carry permit for your anus? I don't know. Might need one. That's a weird concept.
Did you say from your anus or for your anus?
Well,
you got to have a permit if you're from there too. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a true illegal alien there.
Yep.
All right. So moving on from that. I'm almost out of topics. Tonight.
Got any gun news we can talk about?
I've got a topic
what? Go ahead, man.
I'm going to jump out, but I want everybody to come join us for a live chat tonight on my channel at 9 o'clock Central, which is the only time zone that matters. Night Strike, thanks for letting me hang out.
Yep, no problem.
See ya.
Take care, man.
All right, so Travis, you got anything? You got anything other than what we went over already? I'm out of it.
As a shameless self promotion, I'm going to be doing a coffee giveaway next week. I mean, that's exciting. I'll post the video tomorrow. People are interested. We're going to do the drawing on Thanksgiving Day, so that'll be fun. Oh,
that reminds me.
Yeah,
we are doing on the Night Strike One channel. We are doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if those of you watching, if you haven't already, check the video out and gone to the link to enter into the giveaway. Go ahead and do that because we're gonna choose winners. Soonish, probably the first or second week of December. So get on that. All right. So, what's your giveaway about, Travis? What are you doing?
This one, Blackout Coffee Company, not Black Rifle, but Blackout Coffee Company is promoting their flavored coffees this month. So they sent me a couple different flavors, and I posted. If you guys are patrons of mine, I post the videos early over there. I did a couple flavor tests, some coffee tests, good stuff, and we're gonna give away a few items, some coffee and a mug, a little bit of swag. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Just, they're an American company and a small company, and I like what they do, and they make good coffee. So yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. Otherwise, you guys looking into purchasing anything for any Black Friday specials at all for firearms? Have you guys seen anything good?
Okay. I gotta screen share again because Scott sent some pictures in, and they're pretty good.
So I'll take it as a no. Oh, there we go. All right.
So here, if you're going Black Friday shopping, please be a decent human being and turn your phone horizontal before recording fights. Thanks. Yeah, we want to see the fights in widescreen. We don't want to see it in vertical. It just doesn't look right.
And be sure to shout World Star.
I don't know if, I think a lot of people maybe don't realize, they just think that it's going to just not have those bars, my first video, one of my earliest videos, I had no idea. I made it with an iPhone, with an iPod Touch.
He's got another one, so let's see what the other one is. How do you wrap up your N64 controller? Over the shoulder, crisscross, side saddle, the Epstein.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with over the shoulder.
I kind of do the side saddle. Yeah, the side saddle for me. But the Epstein, because we all know he didn't kill himself.
Mm-mm.
But again, there we go. Those are some funny ones. So if you got some funny pictures, you know where to send it. nightstrike1@gmail.com. So there we go. So, anyways, all right. Let's see. Anything else? We can talk about it, but I don't know.
What's that, man?
It's pretty. All right. So, this was yesterday. Armed citizen confronted Walmart shooter, ending the attack. So, and what was reported to have been a shooting resulting from a domestic dispute, a man dressed in black shot and killed a man and woman. This was yesterday, of course. This morning in a parking lot outside a Duncan, Oklahoma Walmart store. The shooter opened fire on the man and woman who were sitting in a car. According to the news source that mentioned this, when the gunman was confronted by an armed citizen, he turned the gun on himself. There's video evidence, but I'm not going to play that because I don't have the rights to it and I don't want to get flagged. So I can't show that to you. But the Associated Press reported no staff members were involved in the shooting and the store was not evacuated. Walmart spokeswoman Lamia Jenkins said in an email, "This was an isolated incident in the parking lot and was not an active shooter situation," Jenkins said. Okay, so, but apparently an armed citizen, it is known that an armed citizen went and pointed the gun straight at the guy's head, and the guy turned the gun on himself instead of trying to shoot the armed citizen. So I don't know whether he pulled the trigger on himself or if he just turned it on himself. I don't know. But
I heard he committed suicide. He took his own life. Yeah.
If
turning
he can,
the gun on himself is a nice way of saying suicide.
Yeah. If you want to watch the video, it's at UK Daily Mail. They're the one that posted it. And I don't know why the United Kingdom is reporting on this, but apparently nothing was going on in England that day to report on, so they had to report on American news in Oklahoma.
No, it's because they love anything to do with guns in America. They love it.
Because they don't have them anymore.
Well, no, they love any crime. They love it, whether it's an active shooter, whether it's a domestic homicide, anything. They just love it.
Oh, I get it. They're angry because they don't have this land anymore. I got it.
Yes.
Well,
they're still a little salty about that thing called the revolution. Yeah.
Remember, there was that declaration from, I don't know if it was King George. You heard that one? What was the July 4, 1776, on this day, nothing happened, was his official declaration.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Really? Nothing happened on that day in their history books.
Nothing of significance happened on this day. Yep.
And nothing also didn't happen between the years of 1776 up to 1792. Nothing happened there.
Nope. Yeah, it was just another day in the neighborhood.
Yep. So that's what's going on there.
Georgie. All right.
He was a little bit crazy.
I think so.
So, anyways, with that, I think we're going to end it a little bit early because we started a little bit early. We're going to end it. If anybody else has anything they want to talk about right now, if they got anything going on, go ahead and chime up. It's your time. Gary, you got anything?
I think we'll give him the bird on his behalf, maybe.
I think the bird, the bird
Got the worm.
The bird is either gotten the worm and fell asleep, or
The bird
He's
is the worm.
definitely asleep. I'm sure.
or
That's happened
quite
a lot lately on our chats. We need to
possibly. I can't say for certain, but I think George may have gotten to the bird.
Oh, it's a possibility.
Because
you
know how George is.
He's a tricky little guy,
So.
Oh, hey, I'll throw one more shameless little plug out there. I am going to be doing my next Patreon giveaway for the month of November, and it's going to focus on the AR-15. So if you guys win Night Strike Strong and you win my drawing, you're going to be pretty happy. So I got that coming up. You got to be a patron of mine for that. But I do a lot of giveaways anyway. They're not Patreon related. But, hey, check me out, Travis P11 over on Patreon.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Gizzard Gary says he would like to speak. So, Gary, did you get away from George? Got to unmute yourself, buddy. You're muted. I guess he's not here. Oh. All right then, guys. Thank you all for listening.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hey,
What happened?
Alive.
I had my mute button on, damn it.
Johnny 5 is alive.
He's alive.
No disassembled Johnny 5.
What input?
It's the second time in this chat I've sat and talked for 15 seconds and then I realized my mute button was on.
15 seconds, more like a minute.
Happens to the best of us, brother.
I know, right?
Right. So, Gary, anything interesting or going on that you want to let everybody know about?
Well, I released a video today.
You did?
It's on this is my beef jerky video. I mean, who can go to a gun show without having some beef jerky?
Oh, heck yeah.
I know,
dude.
right?
Dude, that's good stuff. I had it there when I was there. It was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, they had a new flavor. It was a hot and spicy, and they had thin slice, and it was mesquite smoked and everything. Oh my gosh, it was heaven.
That sounds heavenly, dude. Hey, I'm gonna drive down there. You gonna save me some, Gary?
Yeah, you can order it online. TexasBestBeefJerky.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Sarge, you want to chime in? You got anything?
Yeah. No, I'm going to fight with PSA tomorrow, and I've got some stuff to do when I get that upper end. But I can't think of anything else I'm doing specifically. So
okay. So you don't have any gun news. All right then. Travis, give us your outro.
All right, guys. So, again, one more time, make sure you check out my channel. It's Travis P11. Sorry, I'm just sitting down to eat dinner right now. You can follow me over on YouTube and gunchannels.com, and then I'll be going back over to GunTube soon. So, check it out, Travis P11. Lots of good content. And if there's something out there that can be reviewed, chances are I probably reviewed it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
he's probably already done it. Gizzard, go ahead and give us your outro.
If someone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, remember, give them the bird.
And don't forget to go to gizzardgary.com.
GizzardGary.com, that's right. It's a good place. Cool stuff there. You should go.
Absolutely. And then, Sarge, if you can give us your outro, your plug, if you got one.
like I said, check out my channel, check out my Instagram. Just click on the little dots beside me. You can find my channel name. And I've got weekly live streams, created content. I've got a few more things coming up this week. I gotta get some parts in so I can get them done. So appreciate the invite.
All right. Well, thank you for jumping in. So, as I said, everyone, check out the 1,000 subscriber giveaway video. There's the link to go and enter into the giveaway right there on that video. So check out the description of it. Check out Travis's stuff. Check out Gary. Check out Sarge. check out for things happening with GunTube, where we're still working on everything. It's going slow right now. I'm fighting with it. I'm still working on everything, but we're getting places. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, and remember, thank you for listening. This was Hit or Miss.
Inward.
Shut up, infant!
Felicia. Adios.
The other range.
Te amo, Felicia. Te amo.
That's
Mi
Cafro.
amor. Mi amor.
Later, Zane.
We love you, Gary. Is that your fan club? I don't know what that was.
Remember, George says meow.
Yeah, both members.
Ew.
All right. How do I turn this damn thing off?
You don't. Just let it run out.
No, I'm not doing that.
I know, man. You're the programmer.
No, I'm not actually. I'm just.
You're a CEO. You can run as long as you damn well want to.
There you go.
I could.
Yeah.
That's true. But
Just
with that,
no more Russian collusion, okay? Come on, man.
with that, we're out. So thank you all for listening. Yeah, we may get a little uppity at the end, but that's for entertainment purposes only. So thank you all for listening.